First at 11, 10 more presidential candidates sharing a South Florida stage, a feisty night in Miami at the Democratic debate. Tonight's event featured more of the current frontrunners, including former Vice President Joe Biden.
And just like last night, the debate hit topics ranging from immigration to race relations, health care, and also how to pay for it. CBS 4's Ty Russell leads our coverage at 11. He is live at the Adrian Arch Center. Ty.
Well, Jim and Rudabeh, hundreds of people are just now starting to leave the Adrian Arch Center in Miami after that 2-hour debate. It's a debate where candidates wanted to make their voices heard, especially early on, about topics like immigration and health care. But there was one candidate who didn't want everybody talking over each other.
Senator Harris, I'm so sorry. We will let all of you speak.
In night 2 of the Democratic presidential primary debate.
Hey guys, you know what? America does not want to witness a food fight. They want to know how we're going to put food on their table.
California Senator Kamala Harris calmed tensions over a heated exchange about helping or hurting the middle class.
I believe that we must make public colleges and universities tuition free and eliminate student debt, and we do that by placing a tax on Wall Street. They will pay more in taxes, but less in health care for what they get.
Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders admits his progressive proposals will carry a price tag, but former Colorado Governor John Hickenlooper worries about the party going too far left.
Well, I think that the bottom line is if we don't clearly define that we are not socialists, the Republicans are going to come at us every way they can and call us socialists.
When health care, former Vice President Joe Biden is defending the Affordable Care Act, which he worked on in the Obama administration.
Urgency matters. There's people right now facing what I faced and what we faced without any of the help I had. We must move now. I'm against any Democrat who opposes, takes down Obamacare, and any Republican who wants to get rid of it.
Let me turn.
And when it comes to immigration,
people want a pathway to citizenship. They want protections for dreamers. We need to clean up the lawful immigration system, like how my father immigrated to this country. And as part of a compromise, we can do whatever common sense measures are needed at the border. But Washington can't deliver on something the American people want.
South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg says what he plans to do if elected for reform. After a number of candidates visited the facility in Homestead for migrant children, Senator Harris says,
I will release children from cages. I will get rid of the private detention centers. And I will ensure that this microphone that the President of the United States holds in her hand is used in a way that is about reflecting the values of our country.
An interesting point to make tonight about health care and immigration when moderators asked the presidential candidates about whether they would provide free health care to undocumented immigrants. All of them raised their hands. We are live outside the Adrian Arch Center in Miami. I'm Ty Russell, CBS 4 News Tonight.